Mándame retorno de ya del día que ya le hablan y no dice nada. No se lo olvidan, amor. ¿Cómo se va a olvidar?
Mic test 1, 2.
Marcelo solo o Marcelo Villar. Ok. Perfecto. Marcelo, vos sabés cómo es. Y los tirar 4 cansados. La idea es hacer el primer claro. Javier, escúchame. Vamos a hacer como habíamos planeado. Nosotros seguimos con la conferencia hasta que me diga, bueno, cortar y vamos a cada y pasar a conseguir el podio y a sí, lo escuché recién. ¿Había escuchado vos? Ok. Es decirlo. Vos querés estar ahí, vos querés hacer una previa cuando están ya todos sentados y empiezan a hablar del entrenador o algo. O querés. Ah, ok. Bueno, nosotros vamos a tener el review acá. Son ustedes grabados. Si algo bien, pero se va llegando cuenta cuando viene escuchando. Tres sillas de un lado y tres sillas del otro. Se va de 4 personas antes que se
I want to see. I just want a little thing.
Yeah, right.
Well, thank you for all the questions that resonate for us.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Young Cantu coming at you live. CHARLO is going to take on Brian Castano for the undisputed 154-pound title. All the belts are on the line. We're here live in San Antonio at the press conference. Get this fight week started. Let's get it. Make sure you sub to my channel. We in here. Hey.
Let me know.
Tyler, you're live. I'm live. Let's go.
You live?
Yeah. Yup. J-Mart, you're live. Let's go. J-Mart. Let's get it.
Solo le voy a exigir para que se pueda
There goes my boy K over there. That's the homie right there. Ryan Custer. Big ass fool. Oh, there goes Rolly right there. There goes Rolly. Young Rolly. Rolly Romero. Been calling out Tank Davis.
antes que nos vayamos.
Want all the smoke.
Turn your microphone. No, fingers smell like you're disgusting. Yes, go.
Ashley, stop it.
Brandon, where are you?
Who's on the stage? Not sure.
So I'm been stuck on
Okay, Goldie. Get on stage.
Am I gonna be in your way?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, slightly.
Good now?
Yeah, you good now.
Oh yeah.
Keep it. Corey, keep your comms open. It's actually helping me.
Okay, I will. Don't worry.
Keep it open, Corey.
Do we have a mic for the jury and a mic for the question?
Oh, do you want to come on yourself?
Oh, what about myself? Okay. It's only one question.
90 seconds.
Do you want to do a question?
How does it which one you got?
Tell him to throw it.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to this fabulous fight town of San Antonio, Texas. I'm Brian Custer, the host of Showtime Championship Boxing, and this is the final press conference for CHARLO versus CASTANO. And in this sport, we want the best fighting the best. This year, especially this summer, Showtime Championship Boxing has put an emphasis on the best fighting the best, and that's what we have coming your way on Saturday. Sometimes it's a rarity in this sport when you get an undisputed fight, but we got one here. We got champion versus champion for the 154-pound crown, and it will be an historic fight because for the first time in this four-belt system, we will have an undisputed champion at 154 pounds. You know, boxing fans, they love unification fights, but fighters, they crave to be undisputed. And it's going down on Showtime Championship Boxing this coming Saturday here from San Antonio, Texas, July 17th. And the winner will be just the 6th undisputed champion in this current 4-belt system. And again, the first undisputed champion at 154 pounds in this 4-belt era. July 17th, Showtime Championship Boxing, AT&T Center here in San Antonio, and it is brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions. The telecast jumps off at 9 p.m. Eastern, that is 6 o'clock Pacific time, and it will also feature 2 other great fights. You've got the interim WBA lightweight champion, Rolly Romero, defending his title against Anthony. You get into the co-main event. Plus, you got the unbeaten Amilcar Vidal. And listen, don't go anywhere because this young man has stopped just about everyone inside of 2 rounds as he takes on the hard-hitting Emmanuel Elim in a 10-round bout. That's going to open the broadcast. Now, tickets for this event, they are on sale, but they're selling fast. And if you want to get some, you have to go to AT&TCenter.com to purchase your tickets. This event is being promoted by Lions Only Promotions and, of course, TGB Promotions. And make sure you get your tickets because you do not want to be that guy standing outside the AT&T Center on Saturday trying to call somebody, trying to get inside the venue. The Romero fight is also being promoted by Mayweather Promotions. Now listen, as I told you, when it comes to Showtime Championship Boxing, we put an emphasis on the best fighting the best. And the man who put together our fight schedule, I like to call him boxing's best friend. He's intelligent, he's informative, he's innovative, his swag is on 100. He is the president and GM of Showtime Sports. He's none other than Steven Espinosa.
Thank you, Brian. And before I get into this fight card, I want to point out, or at least give a comment. If you feel like you see Brian Custer everywhere, it's because you do. And he has been added to the ESPN roster in a very high-profile role. From SportsCenter to calling live games, you're going to be seeing a lot more of Brian. We're proud of him. We've been, he's one of our homegrown stars, and want to congratulate him and on this well-deserved recognition and a great new gig. Don't worry, you'll still be seeing him on Championship Boxing. We got a tight hold of him, but it's well-deserved to see him, getting other networks involved in a very high-profile role at ESPN. Now, with respect to this card here tonight or tomorrow night, I'm going to be very brief. You don't need me talking about this card to know how big it is. It's the undisputed 154-pound title. That's all you have to say. First in history. We've got 6 fighters up here, 4 losses between them. This is a high-quality card, top to bottom. We have, in the opener, a middleweight bout, Amilcar Vidal and Emmanuel Elim. That is a co-feature, maybe a main event on just about any other network. Rolly Romero, one of the most entertaining lightweights in the division, on a very tough substitute opponent, Anthony Yiggett. And of course, in the main event, it is the best fighting the best, as Brian points out. The consensus #1 fighter in the division, CHARLO, again, another fighter that we're proud to say grew up on Showtime. We're thrilled to have him back. He is the best fighter in the 154-pound division. But there's one other belt out there, or one other guy who may have an argument about that, and that's the WBO champion, Brian Castano. He's not the household name that Jermell is, but he is a tough fighter. This is a real fight, and whoever emerges as the victor on Saturday night has earned the undisputed title. Again, thank you for joining us. We'll see you Saturday night.
Oh, man, it's got swag on 100. Let's talk about these fights. And I think Steven hit it. I mean, you look at the main event, 2 of the best fighters on this planet at 154 pounds. You look at their records, just 1 loss between those guys. You go to the co-feature. Again, 2 fighters Just one loss between them. And then you go to the opening fight. Vidal and Aline. Again, just 2 losses separates these guys. So from top to bottom is what Showtime is bringing you. Competitive fights, high stakes, meaningful fights. And we're going to start with the first fight of the night that begins this broadcast, because you got 2 really exciting fighters, young fighters here going at it. And Amilcar Vidal Jr. and Emmanuel Aline. Aline, 18-2-2, 11 knockouts. Vidal Jr., 12-0, 11 knockouts. Here's the interesting thing about young Vidal. He has stopped 10 of his 12 opponents inside of 2 rounds thus far. So I'll start with you, Amilcar. Let's go to Saturday. Since you have stopped 10 of your 12 opponents inside of 10 rounds, or 2 rounds, I should say, will Saturday be the same thing?
Bueno, Amilcar, la pregunta aquí de Lancaster es, ya que pudiste detener a varios de tus rivales dentro de 2 rounds, ¿crees que el sábado se repite la historia y la pelea va a durar un suspiro?
No, creo que es un gran rival, un gran oponente, sabemos de las características que tenemos enfrente, pero estamos tranquilos, me fijo en mi trabajo, tuve un gran campamento, llego al 100% y estamos tranquilos para salir a dar lo mejor el sábado.
I don't know about that because, you know, I have a great opponent in front of me, somebody that has done a great job himself. I'm focusing on my work, on what I have done. We're really confident. We have put a lot of work in the gym, and we're ready to go on Saturday night.
Emmanuel, listen, he certainly has not faced anyone as accomplished as you are. Is Saturday a night where we find out what Amilcar Vidal is all about, and are you introducing him to the championship level on Saturday night?
I mean, I'm looking forward to being a world champion. It all starts with Saturday. Whatever you're gonna bring, I'm ready for it. I've been training. I got one of the best trainers in the game. I mean, formerly used to work out with the world champion, CHARLO. So I'm ready for whatever you got to bring. There will be no early stoppage, none of that.
You haven't fought since December of 2019. Will rust be an issue at all?
No, none at all. I've been working with the champs, man. Best in the division, 154 and 160. The CHARLO brothers.
He says there will not be an early stoppage at all. What should we expect when you get in the ring with Emmanuel?
Bueno, él dice que esta pelea no va a terminar temprano ni loco. ¿Qué pensás vos que podemos esperar dentro del ring de parte de Vidal este sábado?
Confío plenamente en mi trabajo, en lo que hice en el gran campamento que tuve con mi equipo. Repito, sé la característica del oponente que tengo enfrente, estoy tranquilo y sé que haciendo mi trabajo a la perfección el sábado, si Dios quiere, todo va a salir bien y nos vamos a llevar el triunfo.
What you should expect is that, you know, with me trusting my work, and I'll say again, with the work I put in and the effort that I put in with an excellent training camp, you can expect me to get the win on Saturday night.
Manuel, last word. What should we expect when you get into the ring with this man?
You expect a real fight. I mean, anybody knows if you put me against anybody, it's going to be a real fight. There's no easy fights. You have people like, you have a good promoter. You have fighters, you want to see what they do, but when you go against me, you know, it's a real test. So I'm ready to put the real work in.
That's going to be the fight that's going to open the night. And then we get to the co-feature. And once again, you got a young man who is the interim WBA lightweight champion, Rolly Romero, Anthony Yiggett, who is 24-1-1, 8 knockouts. Anthony, I'll start with you. I think same question. 25-month layoff, longest of your career. Rust at all an issue, considering you're taking on a man who's been active and obviously has a title?
No, I wouldn't say that would be an issue because I'm always training and I always make sure that I'm in shape and ready for fights like these because I know that, you know, I fought for the world title once and I know that people are gonna tried to take advantage of that and kind of bring me in last minute to fight me. So I was kind of always preparing for war, and yeah, that's what I got. So actually everything worked out just as planned.
And obviously, you were training for another fight, but you've never fought lower than 139. It's the lowest weight you've been. So here you are fighting at 135. Will you still have that same power, you think, at this lower weight?
I think, if anything, 135 is my real weight class. You got to remember that, I've been fighting a lot in Europe, and in European standards, I've done quite well at 140. So I haven't really felt like I need to go down to 135. And then obviously I came up here fighting for the world title at 140 and realized that no, they're a bit too big for me. So I need to go back to my real weight class, which is 135. The problem is that because I'm ranked at 140, I'm getting all the fights at 140, and I'm not one to say no to a fight, and I want to back down. So I've always taken them and never really made that move down to 135. But now I'm here, now I'm making my move to the States, and there's no better time than now.
Roland, listen, you were training for a lefty. Luckily, the man you'll be facing is a lefty, and you had a tendency to stop these guys, especially in one round. If you look at your record, I think it's been 3 of them you've stopped in the first round. Will we see number 4 on Saturday?
Of course, in the first round.
You calling it just like that, San Antonio?
Yeah, just like that. I'm gonna call it. I'm confident with what I say.
What do you know about Anthony? What have you seen? And what does he pose that you say, I need to be cognizant of that on Saturday?
Well, he's a lefty. I just always like fighting lefties, So, I'm prepared for a lefty. Austin Delay was a lefty, and this camp's been amazing. I can't even say all this time to stop people this camp, so I'm looking good. I'm looking really good.
This is a fabulous fight town. They love action. What can you guarantee the people of San Antonio they're going to get when they watch you step into the ring with Anthony?
Well, like every single time I ever fight, everyone loves when I fight. Everybody always show up, so don't show up there. You'll miss knockout.
Anthony, final word here. You're taking on a guy who has a belt, and he says he's stopping you in the first round. What can you tell the people of San Antonio to expect?
Well, they can expect and get ready to dig it. And I think I'm going to come in and make a, great fight. And, I'm going to get the win. That's why I'm here. So, but, I see why he's so confident, and he should be. He's here to win. I'm here to win. So, and that's what the people want to see. They want to see 2 confident fighters fight. And that's what they got. So it's a perfect co-main event, warming up the people for the main event.
I can dig it. I like that. All right, here we go. So we get to the main event. And it's been a long time coming since Jermell Charlo has fought here in his home state in Texas. 6 years, if I'm not mistaken. Last time he's been home and fought for his home state. But the Iron Man, 34-1, 18 knockouts. He is the pride of Houston, Texas, and he will be taking on Brian Castano. Unbeaten, 17-0-1, 12 knockouts from that fabulous fighting country of Buenos Aires, Argentina. He's the WBO champion. It is the main event, and it's for the undisputed title. Mel, I think 6 years. What would it mean to get this victory here in Texas in front of the home folk?
I'm excited to be back home, but I don't care where I fight anywhere. So just as long as everybody tune in, they know what time it is. I know what time it is. I'm ready. I'm more than ready. I'm excited and anxious and just want to be in the ring.
And it's one thing to be the unified champion. It's another thing to be the undisputed champion. What does that mean to you, and what would it mean to you?
It's a dream come true. I wanted to be an undisputed champ when I was a child because, that's always the highest it can get in boxing. And so to have this opportunity to see these moments, I look back and I just, want to say thank you to all my team and everybody that's pushed forward for this. Thank you, Dominique, for rocking with me when I was young. He bought me shoes when I was a young man, watching him training, Ronnie Shields, and watching, other champions in the gym, like Van Holyfield, Juan Diaz, Rocky Juarez, and my whole Texas native fighters. And I just said, now is the time that me and my brother finally get the opportunity to show the world more than what we were. And Samson, I bought a lot of his fighters. I see you in the crowd. I just think that now is the time. Showtime has done a terrific job with us. So has Fox, but I'm gonna say Showtime because I've been fighting on Showtime lately. But this is that moment. This is that time. Opportunities don't come too often, and if a boxer wants that, you gotta go and get it. This is my moment.
These are the kind of fights where, for a fighter, you're undisputed. You're usually pound for pound, and generally these are the kind of fights that put you in the Hall of Fame. You think this fight is what does it for Jermell Charlo, pound for pound, Hall of Fame?
Man, I feel like I'm not even old enough to think about Hall of Fame, mentally. So I'm just fighting, this is the time of now. So it's a Hall of Fame is okay, yeah, that's later. Right now, it's accomplishing a goal that, that's going to take 36 minutes possibly or earlier, depending on what could sustain. So, I'll look into the Hall of Fame. I'll look into all of that other BS that they be talking about after Saturday night.
Brian, same question for you. What would it mean to you, because you come from a fighting family, what would it mean to you to be the undisputed champion, and what would it mean to Argentina that loves this sport so much?
Bueno, Brian, vos venís de una familia que tiene un historial de boxeo, pero para vos personalmente, ¿qué significaría el poder ganar esta pelea, el ser el campeón indiscutido? Y no solo para vos, ¿qué crees que significaría para tu país, para Argentina, el verte como campeón indiscutido?
Bueno, creo que la otra vuelta ya lo dije, ¿no? Es para mí lo más importante para mí, para mi equipo, mi familia, para mi país. Es una gran oportunidad de seguir sumando cosas positivas para el boxeo argentino, y esta es una gran posibilidad, ¿no? Creo que ante un gran rival en Estados Unidos, con los 4 cinturones unificando, creo que esta es la oportunidad que se nos dio y vamos a aprovecharla, ¿no? Creo que estoy en mi mejor momento y disfruto esto. Y entonces el 17 vamos a dejar todo para traernos la victoria y unificar.
Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. For me, for my team, for my family, this is yet another opportunity to leave Argentinian boxing way up there and put another star in that legacy. That's my goal. This is the opportunity that I crave, that I want, and I'm enjoying this moment. So I promise you, on Saturday, July 17th, I'm going to leave it all out there for everybody.
Brian, Mel's fighting here in his home state. He's considered the top fighter at 154. You made the comment this week that all the pressure's on him Saturday night. Tell us why.
Bueno, vos ya has dicho que toda la presión es de Jermell. Decinos por qué crees que la presión es suya y que vos llegás de punto, pero bien cómodo.
Creo que, bueno, obviamente, ¿no? Él tiene que hacer un buen papel en su casa con su gente y brindarle su espectáculo al público, ¿no? Pero obviamente yo vengo a hacer mi trabajo, él va a hacer el suyo, obviamente. Creo que más allá de eso, yo vengo a hacer lo mío, vengo entrenando muy fuerte durante más de medio año, 8 o 9 meses que estoy metiéndole duro a esto y esperando esta oportunidad y nada, creo que la presión para mí no hay presión, siempre fui visitante y siempre fui de punto y terminé siendo banca, así que esta no va a ser diferente, voy a trabajar y hacer lo mío.
Well, it's how the pressure. He's in his home state. He has to also put on a show for the fans. So that's why, as far as I'm concerned, I have been training for 8-9 months. I've been training so hard, and I'm comfortable in the role that I'm at. In fact, I may be the underdog right now, but I always come in as the underdog, and I end up being the favorite after I win. So that's what I want to see happen on Saturday, and I don't feel any pressure because I'm ready to fight on Saturday night.
Yeah? You feeling the pressure?
Nah, that's funny. I don't have no pressure on me, man. I've been here so many times in my life, and I've been boxing since I was 8 years old. If I had pressure, I wouldn't be in this moment. Like, this moment is a dream come true moment. So why would I want to be under pressure? The state of Texas see me fight a lot of times. They watch me on TV, the millions around the world, and I'm excited to be in the ring. The pressure is on him. And it will show, like, you're gonna have to come and do his thing. You're gonna have to come and show me and put the pressure and all that other good stuff and avoid, bombs. Like, I'm not worried about. I'm not focused on the crowds and all of that stuff. We know they come. We know they rock with us. We know they support us through the wins, the losses, the draws. We get love no matter what. So that doesn't change anything. I've been training. Like, my system is not me to tell you about. It's for me to show you on Saturday.
Brian, one of the things you said this week was, if Charlo wants to bang, then I'm willing to bang. The power is going to make a difference in this fight. Explain to the people what you meant by that.
Bueno, vos también dijiste que si Charlo se quiere fajar, vos te vas a fajar con él tranquilamente, que el poder de los dos va a marcar la diferencia. Contanos un poco lo que quisiste decir con eso.
Bueno, eso fue una respuesta a una pregunta que me hicieron. Creo que obviamente él va a hacer su trabajo, yo digo, voy a hacer el mío. Y si tengo que tirar menos cantidad de más potencia para hacerme sentir el rigor, lo voy a hacer, obviamente. Creo que, peleas son peleas, siempre digo, no me gusta hablar mucho de las peleas, cada uno tiene su plan de trabajo y yo respeto el mío, voy a hacer mi trabajo lo mejor que pueda para salir victorioso, obviamente. A nadie le gusta perder, así que nada, hay que ir para adelante, como siempre digo, yo no tengo presión de nada, lo único que tengo que hacer es ir a hacer mi trabajo, que yo vivo de esto y es esto lo que hago toda la vida, así que nada, el 17 vamos a demostrarlo.
I meant that, when it comes to it, if I have to lower my punch output to put more power into things, I will. I really don't like to talk about, fast fights, the fight itself too much, because everybody has their game plan. I have my game plan, Jamal has his, but in the end, I'm gonna do what I have to do to try to come out victorious on Saturday night. And I have, like I said before, I have no pressure, I feel no pressure, and I'm ready to go.
Mel, I know members of the media have some questions, so we'll kind of wrap it up with this. And I think I mentioned this to you before when I was looking over your record. You've got 13 knockdowns in your last 9 fights. You heard him say, hey, look, power's going to be the difference in this fight. Do you think this is a fight that will go the distance, or do you think someone's going to get knocked down in this fight?
I don't know. I can't predict the future, but just know I'm much stronger than I was. I'm much faster, I feel. I feel like I'm ready. Like, it's not just about, the power. I got power in both hands, power in every punch, power in every shot from different angles. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what I can do. I'm excited to be in this moment. I'm thankful for this opportunity to be facing another champion. This is not just an opponent. This is a champion. So I'm thankful. I know he got a game plan, and we'll figure out what to do on Saturday to him.
Lastly, would you tell people? And I love asking this question. What can you guarantee the people of San Antonio when they tune in on Showtime Championship Boxing, or for those who are spending their money to come into the AT&T Center, what can you guarantee them that they're going to see and get when you step in the ring with Brian?
Mr. Don't Blink attitude. I think you might want to stay there and be tuned in, because you never know what can happen at any moment, from the 3rd round to the 8th round to the 7th round to the 4th round to the 8th round to the 11th round. I did knock people out from all around those rings. So that was wrong, my bad. I did knock people out from all around that time. So my condition is good. I know he's in good condition. So we shall see, Start this mug like I ended. Ended like I started.
Brian, before I get, maybe you have the final statement. You know, you're on your honeymoon. I think you were on your honeymoon the first day and you get the call for this fight. My question to you is, if you win, are you taking your wife back on the honeymoon that she deserves, and where you going, bro?
Bueno, él sabe que tenés una luna de miel en deuda, entonces, si ganás esta pelea, ¿te vas a llevar a Carolina, tu esposa, a la luna de miel soñada?
Seguro, obviamente. Creo que esta es una de las batallas primero que tengo que pasar. Primero está Gemel, obviamente, ¿no? Creo que primero es esta y después disfrutar, ¿no? Creo que no tuve tiempo, obviamente, en Argentina, me casé, a los 2 días tuve que estar acá y nada. Pero por eso te digo, este es mi trabajo, vivo de esto y primero lo primero, el 17 y después se verá lo que haremos, ¿no? Pero primero está la guerra del 17 de julio.
Absolutely, but first things first, we have a war to fight on July 17th. I'm not thinking about anything that has to do beyond Jermel and our fight on Saturday. However, having said that, after this fight, yeah, it's gonna be time to enjoy, but my mind is fully set on Saturday night.
And what can you guarantee the people of San Antonio that they will get on Saturday when you step in the ring with Mel?
¿Qué le puedes garantizar a la gente este sábado cuando enfrentes a Jermel?
Que bueno, que se van a disfrutar la pelea, que no los voy a defraudar y voy a dejar todo lo que tengo que dejar para llevarme la victoria. Creo que es un gran oponente, es un gran campeón y nada, yo también por algo llegué a estar donde estoy hoy en día y nada, voy a dejar todo y le garantizo a la gente que esto va a ser una guerra y vamos a demostrar por qué estamos hoy en día acá en el primer nivel y nada, a disfrutar de esta pelea, creo que lo van a disfrutar y eso se lo voy a garantizar.
I guarantee that I'm not going to disappoint you. I guarantee that you're going to enjoy this fight, and I guarantee that you're going to see a full-out war on Saturday night. We're going to do whatever it takes to come out victorious, and in the end, we want fans to enjoy the fight here in San Antonio and both on Showtime Championship Boxing as well.
Absolutely. That's what you're going to see here. 3 fights. Of course, the main event, undisputed title at 154 pounds. I know there are members of the media who have some questions. We have a mic. We'll just pass it around. If you could, please raise your hand and tell us who you're representing.
Aaron Cantu with FightHype.com. Mel, it seems like when the stage is the biggest, that's when you shine the brightest. You know, in fights you've been in where people believe your opponent could give you some fits, like Hatley, Lubin, and most recently Rosario, what allows you to shine in these moments in the big stage?
I mean, a focused Mel is the most dangerous Mel that you could be. So this is a great opponent. This is a great fighter. He wants to fight. He wants to dog it out. He wants to bang. He wants to do whatever. I got different skill sets. Shout out to Juan Guzman. We incremented some different things. Shout out to Derrick James. We continued on some different things, and I feel like a better fighter now.
So a focused Mel will be the difference. Mel, what did you make of him defeating Errol Spence in the amateurs?
That amateur shit don't matter, man. I don't want to talk about no amateur shit. Shit don't matter to me. Fuck amateur boxing right now. This is professional, unified, undisputed championship. We can't talk about what happened in the amateurs. That act like it don't matter.
Jamal, Daniel was behind the gloves. I wanted to ask, in the last two years, basically, since your long defeat as a professional, what do you feel that you have learned the most and been able to develop since that, and be able to get here now, not just get your title back, become unified champion, and now fight for undisputed come Saturday night?
Well, this is how God's plan is. I can't, put these things in order, but shout out to the great management, Al Heyman, for being able to put me, and shout out to the WBC, because I want to say the WBC put me right back in the fight, right after, the controversial loss that I've taken. They put me right back in there to redeem myself. I redeemed myself with the knockout, came back with jet fuel, knocked out the Dakota guy, knocked out the Rosario guy. So then, we on this roller coaster. We steady moving. I mean, there's no stopping this show.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenos días. Desde Argentina para llamar Charlo. Le quiero preguntar cuánto paga de patente por la camioneta negra. ¿Cuánto paga de patente? Sí.
Well,
seguro.
Well, the question is here for Brian Castaño, and the question from Lucas Tolosa here is: how much are you paying for the black license plate in your black SUV? ¿Qué lo?
You asked me that?
No, te la tenés que responder vos.
What are you talking about? I didn't get the question. That's the question for me. He knows Spanish, so you can just talk to him in Spanish.
Sí, la pregunta fue esa: ¿cuánto paga de patente y de seguro?
La pregunta es para Charlo.
Claro, para Charlo.
Sorry. How much? Sorry, my bad. The question was for Charlo, not for Brian. How much are you paying for that black license plate in your SUV?
That's my name, and I probably paid whatever the registration is. But I own every car that I have, though. I own them.
Yeah. Bueno, que la respuesta era de que, o sea, es su auto y que, o sea, no solo paga, sino que también es dueño de ese auto.
Okay, now McKee in the back. In the back there.
This question's for Jermel, Keith Heiting from BoxingScene.com. Jermel, what did you think? I know he's obviously a southpaw. What did you think of Brian Castaño's performance against a fighter you're very familiar with, and that was Landy Lara? And did you think that he won the fight?
I don't necessarily want to say that I feel like Landy Lara ran and pulled that fight off by an edge. Brian Castano did put a lot of pressure towards the end, and I feel that the punch rate wasn't where mine's is at, the power wasn't where mine's is at, so those are the fights that make a difference.
And I have a question for Brian also. Brian, how do you think Jermel compares to the best fighters that you fought in Michael Soro and Landy Lara?
Bueno, Brian, ¿cómo crees que Jermel se compara a grandes oponentes que tuviste en el pasado, como Landy Lara y como Soro?
No, solamente en la altura y el alcance. Creo que son boxeadores diferentes, pero cada uno con su característica. Lo único que lo relacioné fue en la altura y en la envergadura de brazo.
Just in height and reach, either. Those will be the only similarities I see between Jermel and the two opponents that you mentioned. The rest, Jermel is his own man and a tough opponent to fight.
Jermel, Brian, he's made no secret, unlike many fighters, about what his game plan is, that he's coming to bring the pressure. But ultimately, even if, you win rounds fighting like that, is he walking into too much firepower trying to beat you that way?
We shall see Saturday. That's a question that I really can't answer. But most definitely it's dangerous just to walk into shots. It's dangerous just to come. Anything is dangerous just coming straight forward. Most of the opponents that I fought that come like that, I've pretty much fatality.
And also, Mel, you bring as much intensity into the ring. There's an anger, you got an edge when you come into the boxing ring. Where does that come from? Why is that, Jermel?
I put my life on the line. I got to feed my family. I got a large family. I got a lot of things that I need to get understood in this boxing world before it's over. And I wanted to fight the best fighters. I never wanted to be a guy looking around trying to make my name and my record up. If you go back over my box record career, you can see that I've always faced tough opponents. Even when I was with Golden Boy Promotions, they always put me in there with guys that was tough, and I guess they wanted to see if I could pull it off. My mindset was always stay down so you don't get cut. Like an NFL, they gotta work harder than the next person because they got somebody trying to take their position, and that's kind of what this is always about for me. And I kept that mental and I keep that drive going, and now I'm here, but I got a lot more to prove. In the world of boxing before it's over.
Jermel, my name is Joe Villanueva. I'm your cut man. I was with you in New York City when you fought against Harrison first time. I know you won that fight. I just want to make everybody know that you haven't lost. You've never lost in my eyes.
Thank you, San Antonio. Joe, you from San Antonio, so I appreciate you coming. Thank you, for sure. I don't feel like I lost, but yeah, you know, it's boxing.
So there we have it, folks. Again, Saturday night, Showtime Championship Boxing, 9 o'clock Eastern, that is 6 o'clock Pacific time, 3-fight card. You do not want to miss it. If you want tickets, you got to go to AT&TCenter.com to purchase your tickets. The main event, and cannot say it enough, the undisputed 154-pound title is on the line. Jermell Charlo, Brian Castano. It's going to be one hell of a night at the AT&T Center here in San Antonio. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Guys, let's face off and let's start with the first fight of the night.
If we can get you guys outside, we'll chill on that side.
Need the belt?
Yes, guys, you can stand. It's right here. TV's in the back, guys. Right here.
Down here in the middle. Here.
All right, thank you. Just hang out over there. Shut up. Guys, this on the line. Stay back.
Down here in the middle.
Back here, guys. All right, thank you.
Vamos, Ryan.
Any questions or